fight. We'll do our best for the black and white, for we're mighty proud of the mighty black and white. We're mighty proud of the mighty black.
From the day your brother Pie was our first introduction, we were strangers to the game we love. We're strangers no more. It's more than a game. Hey, it's our religion now, and it's in our blood, it's in our veins, it's everywhere. Ilawa, 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 ilawa. Michigan, I gotta galing arame. For years
Well, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to beautiful TIO Stadium for round 10 of the 2021-22 TIO NTFL Men's Premier League competition. My name's Liz Cruz, and joining me in the commentary box today, none other than Stu Davis, and we're all set for a good game between the Tiwi Bombers and the Palmerston Magpies, Stu.
Well, Liz, it's obviously both teams' form line isn't where they'd want it to be, but yeah, it should be a really competitive game. And of course, Tiwi have been unable to come out with a win over the last couple of seasons, and you know, they really need to start trying to, or being in a position to turn that around. We saw them a couple of weeks ago. They were competitive for a half or so, but probably an opportunity for them today. I notice Chris Williams out for Palmerston this week, but Tiwi have got a couple out themselves, Harley Puruntatameri and Jason Puruntatameri, which big losses for them. And
of course, the big talking point, and I'm watching him hug every player as he walks down to his position on both teams, is that Eddie Betts is playing for the Palmerston Magpies, a man who played 350 AFL games and kicked 640 goals for Carlton and Adelaide, Stu.
Yeah, fantastic to see him playing in the NTFL, and since he debuted, he's played every week, which is great as well. So, game's underway here at TIO Stadium. Big Hollenby gets up high, wins the tap down, and Wolf gets the clearance for Palmerston. Goes long and inside 50, hooker down there for Tiwi, gets tackled with the ball, manages to get it out, and McAdam gets a clearing kick for Tiwi down along the wing. Hitting it there was Groves, went through his hands. Hollenby's in there again, gets a hand pass out looking for Cole, misses him, but coming in there was Guthrie through the hands, and eventually comes across here to Meadows, who missed the target with his handball, and subsequently the ball got caught up under a number of players, and we'll have a ball up at centre half forward for Palmerston.
Good to see number 33, Waylon Davey. He kicked 2 goals on debut last week, back for his second game today.
So Tiwi looking to work the ball out of defence now, just padding a lot along in front of himself was Gene Puruntatameri. Got a boot to the ball. Working in hard again in close is Eric Guthrie, as we've become accustomed to over the last couple of seasons for Palmerston. But there's a free kick here. It's a Tiwi free kick. Advantage has been paid, and Christopher Colombo takes advantage of that free kick, and his pass is good to Edward Turner, just outside forward 50 for Tiwi. Looking to go short, and that's a beautiful pass inside forward 50. Just spotted him up beautifully. And an opportunity for Tiwi to score first in this game. Umpire Mark Noonan just directing traffic on the mark. And it's John Dominic McLennan who was on the end of that. It was a good lead and a beautiful pass. And McLennan, he'll be kicking from about 30 metres. And comes in now for the set shot towards the airport end of the ground. The kick's on its way. I think he's left that to the right, and in fact just scrapes in for a behind. So first score on the board to Tiwi.
Yeah, it would have been a good goal if they could have got that on the board early, especially after Palmerston had the first centre clearance, as we see Froggy Davey kick that ball in.
And he finds Luke Meadows, who chips across to Cole at half-back for Palmerston. Cole, one of a couple of players that come up from Alice Springs to play for Palmerston, Liz.
That's right, and of course Froggy Davey, another former AFL star who played for Essendon for a long time.
Stephen Lampton has it here. Palmerston just chipping it around in the back half at the moment, and now it's Wharf right back in the goal square. He goes out wide and finds Flanagan, who plays on quickly to the outer side, and has a leading player out there, Kobe Annan, takes a mark, keeps it in play, and then hits up a pass to Cole down the half-back flank, but it's all come unstuck in the end, and Big Jackson Locke intercepts the mark on the centre wing for Tiwi. And there's a 50-metre penalty being paid here. So this will bring Locke inside forward 50, and don't know much about him, Liz. I don't know his kicking ability at all, but he'll be kicking from about 50 metres.
Well, the main thing is if Tiwi can get this one on the board, it'll be a really good start for them. Go early into the first quarter, just at the 3.5 minute mark at the moment, as we had a quick look at the bench then. Sitting in the shade, it is about 35 degrees out there, but the weather chart said feels like 40, so nice and hot.
So the kick's on its way. It's going right to the goal square, but falls short. And an opportunity. Oh, clever work there by Thompson, but got tackled on by the second player that he tried to duck around. And it's a good tackle, and the free kick's paid. And Palmerston will clear from deep in defence. A big leap there, but the mark's not taken, and through the hands. Palmerston again. Meadows on the left hand, but his teammate there is run down. That's Heath Morgan Morris. Play on's the call. Meadows is in the action again, gets a hand pass forward, and Gibson is involved. So Palmerston under pressure, working it through the hands, and Colombo tries to duck back inside, but just ran into traffic there. And Meadows another quick kick forward. Stafford on the end of this, but the ball runs past him, and Hooker goes back for Tiwi, trying to tidy up. Stafford comes in to help again. Good through the hands there. Palmerston gets it over to Eddie Betts, and Betts from the top of the goal score kicks the first goal of the game. And wasn't too much magic in that one. Liz was on the end of a handball, but he's in the right place, of course, and it's pretty easy work for Eddie.
And good to see Eddie go and get his own ball after he kicked it too. So first goal on the board, as we just watched the replay here as it made its way into the forward line. You know, a bit of a fumble there, and Palmerston were just able to get that ball out to Eddie. So running in there for an easy goal, and lots of fans in today here at TIO Stadium in Darwin to see Eddie play. So as we said, 350 AFL games, 640 goals, so he knows how to kick them, and he's got that on the board for the Palmerston Magpies. So the score now at the 5-minute mark of the first quarter, Palmerston 1 straight goal to Tiwi Bombers 1 behind.
So Tiwi, it's Dion Munkara got the hand pass across to Gene Purantatameri. Another good pass inside, and Thompson on the end of this one looks to play on now. He's called to play on, kicks towards goal. Kick looks pretty good, in fact, was pretty casual about it in the end, but that was a good long kick and no problem at all. So a quick answer for Tiwi there, and just what they would have been looking for. And Michael Thompson been in some pretty good form for Tiwi over the last few weeks. Absolutely,
and as you said, a quick reply, and I'm sure the coaching staff would have been very happy with that, Stu. The coach is today James McAdam from the famous McAdam family. He's the man in charge of the Tiwi Bombers this season, and Josh Heath for Palmerston Magpies, a former St Mary's Premiership player who is the man in charge for Palmerston this season, and doing some good things down there. And I saw Joshy had a run in the Div 1 or the Div 2 last week as well, Stu. He
the Rats.
Can't keep away from it. Yeah, Div 2 was the Rats, yeah.
Yeah, both first-year coaches and doing some good work at their clubs. But as I said before, they're both looking to get some more wins on the board. But there's a free kick paid down here. It was McAdam down there. His hand pass went astray, though. Betts is involved in the action, and some clever work down there by Sutton to tap it back into the path of his teammate Davey, but again another fumble down there, and Sutton's involved again, gets a hand pass over the top and a hook around the corner from Gibson, but that one's not going to come back and just floats through for a behind. So some good forward pressure by Palmerston down there, and Tiwi couldn't work the ball out as they were hoping to do. So from the restart, Hooker runs out of the goal square, then goes long down towards the wing. Flanagan's involved in the marking contest. Ball comes to ground. Groves, clever work with the foot, just kicks it out into some space to give his teammates some opportunity. Nicely done, but there's plenty of Tiwi defenders down there as the ball goes towards forward 50. Eventually it comes out. Thompson through the hands, and Tiwi run it away again. A chip pass comes out, and now an opportunity to go forward from the grandstand wing. Things have slowed up a bit here, and the long kick by Cunningham.
Oh, good hands there.
And a good mark's taken. So it's the big fella Lock again. He sees something he likes in the corridor, and that's a good pass in between a couple of Palmerston opponents. Robinson takes a mark now. He tries to play on. He's run himself into trouble. McAdam puts the ball on the ground, probably lucky not to be penalised there as he was tackled. Play on's the call, and the ball comes loose now, and Tipungwuti goes long towards goal. I think he snuck that one in as well, so another good long-range goal, and this time it's Paulinus Tipungwuti for Tiwi Bombers. Kicked that one from about 45 metres on the run, so Palmerston scored the first goal, and Tiwi have got the next two to get themselves in front early in this first quarter.
Yeah, well, speaking of on the run, the goal umpire was doing lots of running, so I wasn't too sure if it was going to be a goal. But again, really good kicking by the Tiwi Bombers, and they'd be happy to get that second one on the board, as we just see the replay there, straightened up and kicked it through. So the score now at the almost 9-minute mark of the first quarter is the Tiwi Bombers, who've hit the lead to 113, leading Palmerston Magpies 117, Stu.
Yeah, it's a good contest so far. Hollenby in there tried to get a hand pass forward, got it as far as his teammate Meadows, and he got tackled high, and he'll take the free kick. Kicks long now, inside forward 50. Stafford coming out, can't get his hands on the ball, and quick hand pass out by Cruz goes to the advantage of Michael Dunn. He's looking to bring the ball back across the face of goal. It's pretty dangerous. There's a couple of players in there. I think Betts comes in, gets his toe to the ball, and there'll be a bit of a conference here, but looked pretty clean. There was probably some hands in around it, and all clear's been given. It is a goal, and Betts again on the end of it got his toe to it, put it through, and an opportunist goal that time, Liz.
Yeah, well, he's up and about today, Eddie. 2 straight goals for his team, as we just watched the replay there. So putting the other number 18 under pressure there, just watching the ball and running in when Colombo couldn't quite take control of it and kicking it off the ground for a good goal there. Eddie Betts. Pretty exciting to call Eddie Betts today, Stu.
It is. He almost tripped over that one, Liz. But,
he's got magic skills, as we know, and, you know, every kid wants to be like Eddie Betts, and you don't see all the juniors go back and kick their set shots these days. They all want to run around or kick those goals on the run. So got a game on our hands here. Both teams 2-1-13 at the 10-minute mark of the first quarter.
So from the restart, it's Meadows again. He's had a fair bit of the ball early in this first quarter, kicks it out wide into space. The ball's bouncing out here. It's collected by Lachlan Cross, but Tiwi managed to steal it off him. The long kick forward by Tippermandu Mary, but that's chopped off by Annan. He's put under pressure and almost had an area, and now a snapshot at goal again. It's another great finish for Tiwi. This time it's Kieran DeSantis, I think.
Wow.
No, it's not. It's Edward Turner, sorry. But, yeah, just did the defensive work in there, put the pressure on. You can see it on the replay now. Just pushes Anand in the side, puts him off his kick, and then comes in, tidies up himself, and a terrific piece of work and a great finish once again. I
think we're going to have a very attacking game on our hands today, Stu, with these two teams. But Edward Turner played a bit of footy with Buffs and Wanderers in the NTFL, and he must have been down at boarding school. He played for Ballarat in the East Point Juniors. So there's a lot of links with the boarding schools in Victoria with a lot of our NTFL players, and this time of the year they sort of return home to play over the Christmas break. So Tiwi Bombers 3-1-19 leading the Magpies 2-1-13.
So Tiwi with the clearance again, get it down towards half forward. It's Thompson who picks up hand passes inboard, and it was Tipperwoody again going forward, but missed the target this time. The ball bounces out of bounds in the left forward pocket for Tiwi Bombers. Tiwi kicking towards the airport end of the ground today, probably favoured by the breeze a little bit, but I don't think that'll have a big impact on today's game. So just at half back, it's Palmerston trying to work it out of defence. Hampton Timms was down there, but comes into the hands of Robinson this time on the left, but his kick has just missed to the left-hand side. And Palmerston looking to settle things down. It's Alwyn Davey brings the ball in, and foot skills are perfect as usual from Alwyn. And he finds Kobe Anand, who chips the ball back in towards the corridor. Ryan Wharf in there, goes outwards again, and just through the outstretched hands of his teammate Hampton Timms down there, and found its way over the boundary line for a throw in.
Yeah, Ryan, of course, he was last year's NT News Rising Star winner at the Nichols Medal Night, a prestigious award. So good to see him really holding his spot in the seniors every week.
Kim Cantilla involved down there, under pressure, got the hand pass out to Buruntada Mary Dunn, but he was pressured out of it, and now Palmerston going forward as Ugal looks to kick inside. The mark spilt down there, and now Palmerston an opportunity to go forward again. And it's Gibson who runs the ball in. Hand passes across to Betts. Back to Gibson. He's still under pressure, but they worked it out in the end. And Palmerston scored the goal. So, 12 minutes into the first quarter and 6 goals on the board, 3 apiece already. So, as you said, Liz, might be a little bit of a shootout here. Yeah,
and as we've seen, Eddie Betts has had a hand in all of them, kicking 2 and getting that handball there to Benjamin Gibson, who finished it off. Just watching the replay there, easy goal for him. So had a quick look down at the Palmerston interchange bench there, and Rory Hood's running the board, another premiership player for St Mary's. So works for the Clontarf program. So Hoodie's down there on the board. So the score now at the 14-minute mark of the first quarter, Tiwi Bombers 3-20, just leading the Palmerston Magpies 3-1-19.
Big fellas do battle again. No decisive hit out there, but Palmerston looked like the opportunity to get their hands on it first. Working in there was Guthrie. Almost missed his hand with the hand pass, and now Tiwi an opportunity. Just ducking under the tackle there was Braden Rioli. Play on's the call. Guthrie's involved again, but the ball spills out. Good tackle, good pressure by Callum Groves down there, and forces a stoppage. So Paulinus Tipungwuti comes up, just checking his face, but it was a good contest. Hollenby clearly wins that hit out, but Dion Mankara was on the end of it to get the clearance. Thompson's involved again. He gets tackled high, and Michael Thompson will take the free kick just outside forward 50 for Tiwi. He's got a player on the lead now, but he goes longer instead, and Jackson Cole comes over the top, gets a fist of that, and kills that one pretty easily out of bounds into the back pocket for Palmerston. Yeah, it was a pretty casual kick in for the Tiwi Bombers. They probably could have done more with that, as we see the umpire throw that ball in. So some good body work down there, but clever kick forward, but Palmerston on the end of this one, and work it out of fence, but that's just kicking straight into the hands of his opponent down there. Picked up nicely by Tipper Mandameri. Ducks a couple of players, then gets his kick in, but his kicks off target, and Palmerston able to tidy up down there through McMasters, who got it out wide. Wharf's involved again, and he chips into Hampton Timms on the wing, but Davey comes in to assist, and it's across here to McMasters once again. He's got a player in some space. Stephen Lampton plays on now and kicks long towards full forward, but chopping across is David Cruz for the Tiwi Bombers. Yeah, good for the Bombers to have David Cruz back in there, a former Wanderers player, have a lot of experience just controlling that back line. Oh, that's a good tackle by the big fella Holmby on Dion Mankara as he was trying to run past him, and really affected the kick, which screwed across to the centre of the ground, and now Palmerston able to tidy up. Davey again goes short, and he finds Max Sutton in the middle of the ground. And Sutton hasn't got much that he likes going forward. Takes a bit of time, but now he's got Stafford on the lead, and that's a good kick to him. Stafford takes the mark. About 55 from goal. He's not confident of getting that distance, and looks for an option instead, and the pass is good. And he finds Waylon Davey. Yeah, little Way made his debut last week, as he's going to look to pass that and kick 2 goals on debut. He's the son of Lauren Motlop and Russell Davey, so he's got 5 uncles that have played in the AFL, which is a pretty good bloodline, Stu. Certainly is, and that was a good pass to a leading Gibson in the forward pocket, and of course Gibson kicked the previous goal, and he'll go back and have the set shot now, kicking from about 25. Kicks on its way, looks pretty good. Goal umpire isn't moving, it's straight through the middle, so another goal to Palmerston, and they rest back the lead, and they're up by 5 points now. Yeah, it's a real shootout. So 2 goals to Benjamin Gibson, to Eddie Betts for Palmerston, while singles to Michael Thompson, Edward Turner and Paulinus Tipungwuti for the Tiwi Bombers. A high-scoring game in the first quarter, Stu. As we said, it's going to be a pretty attacking game. Yeah, absolutely. And it's you know, as we said, the form line's not great for both sides, but coming into the game, what we could have hoped for was a high-scoring game like this with free-flowing footy, and that's certainly what we're getting at the moment. So really entertaining so far. Hope everyone's enjoying the coverage of it, and around the country, obviously. And plays away again. Hollenby again got his hand to that ball, but it's Tiwi again with the opportunity to win the clearance. Guthrie comes in and try to chop it off, but just fumbled the ball and then got dumped, and I think umpire Mark Nen says he was tackled high, and Guthrie wastes no time now moving it on, finding Lambton here who spills the mark, and picked up down there by Meadows. He hand passes out wide looking for Flanagan, who couldn't take it cleanly and then got tackled over the boundary line, and a boundary throw in once again.
Yeah, great pressure there by Kieran DeSantis to force that ball over. We just see that on the replay. It's really hot out there for anyone watching who's not based in Darwin. The humidity is through the roof, so nice and sweaty for these players. It is hard to hold on to that ball.
So Tiwi from that stoppage bring the ball out, and up high in the middle of the pack was Cunningham. He took the mark, hands it off now to Dion Munkara. He's got Thompson in some space and hits him right in the centre of the ground. Dion on the ground after that one. I don't know if he got a little bit of attention, but play on's the call as Hooker goes forward, and Cantilla just couldn't hold the mark down there, and gives Palmerston the opportunity to clear out once again, and Cross goes out wide looking for Waylon Davies. Some clever work, manages to trap the ball and then hand pass forward as he's tackled, and quick kick forward, but it's Palmerston again now looking to go long inside forward 50. Stafford comes out at this one, takes it on the second grab, and he's a big man, Liz, and he's a thumping kick, as we know, and can take a good mark on the lead. So they'll be looking for more of that from him. He's had a couple of games where he's been in some good form, but just goes missing sometimes. Yeah,
he has that ability to really turn a game. He's kicked bags, you know, when he used to play for the Darwin Buffaloes, and he's dominated down in the Central Australian Footy League, as we see that one go straight through. The goal umpire didn't even move. So some good confidence there for Daniel Stafford to get that one on the board. As we said, he's from Alice Springs. He plays down there for Mount Ellen, and he kicked 9 goals in the community grand final, which was held earlier this year. So he's a huge kick and a huge bloke. So, but some great work out on the wing there by young Waylon Davey and Eddie Betts to get that ball in, Stu.
Yeah, it was really good understanding, and Waylon Davey just showing some maturity beyond his years, I think. Just really clever in a one-on-one contest, and stayed in the contest, kept his feet and got the ball out to Betts, and it ended with Stafford, as we said, who took a strong mark on the lead, so and an excellent finish. And
as we said, speaking of maturity, the umpires out there, Mark Noonan, one of our most experienced out there, throwing that ball up today, Stu.
Yes, he broke the record not long ago, I think, and still running around, still really fit, and now Palmerston going forward again. Eugle's involved, but again it was Colombo for Tiwi, and in the end I think he's going to get a free kick for being legged, which is a pretty good effort because he was 1 against 2, and he held up pretty well for Tiwi there, and his kick's good to Thompson. Thompson takes the mark, plays on straight away, but that's not his best kick, and that one drifts out of bounds on the full as he was looking forward, trying to find Cunningham.
Colombo is good in the first 5 minutes and then sort of just dropped off, but he's working his way back into the game again for the Tiwi Bombers, which is good, as we see Palmerston switch that ball over to the far side.
Yeah, so really worked the ball well around the back arc there, and Meadows chips it in, but put his teammate Sutton under plenty of pressure down there, and his Tiwi opponents came in and managed to lock it up, but eventually the hand pass comes out, and now an opportunity for Palmerston going forward again. On the end of this one was Brodie McMahon. Got his hands to the ball, couldn't take the mark, and it was forced over the boundary line for a boundary throw in.
And I tell you what, if that had gone over the top, Eddie Betts was running flat out into the goal square with 2 Tiwi Bombers players chasing him. He wanted that third goal.
He's involved now, hooks around on the left foot, but that one's not coming back at all, and it bounces inside the boundary line, and over for a boundary throw in at the Michael Long Centre end of the ground.
So we're coming up to the 23.5 minute mark of the first quarter. It is the Palmerston Magpies 5-1-31 leading the Tiwi Bombers 3-20 here at TIO Stadium in Darwin. You're watching AFL&T's coverage of the 2021-22 TIO NTFL season.
So Stafford just snatches that one out of the ruck contest and then looked to hand it off. Missed his target though, and the big fella lock for Tiwi gets the clearing kick, but just goes over the back of the pack there and bounces out of bounds. Another boundary throw in. See Meadows coming off for interchange for Palmerston. He's had a pretty good start to the game. Had plenty of touches early.
Bit of a Nat Fife lookalike with the man bun on top.
So Hollenby in front went the tap down to Guthrie, who torps one on the left foot deep down towards centre half forward. Tiwi got plenty of numbers down there. Looked like a holding free kick. It was, and advantage is not being allowed, and the free kick will go back here to Gene Purantatameri. He had a player on the lead, looked longer for Cantilla, but reading it well for Palmerston was Stephen Lampton, who chipped in and took the mark. He now waltzes off and chips in short, and the pass is good down here to Max Sutton. Sutton goes short again to Guthrie inboard, and Guthrie just trying to direct some traffic, telling his players to go deeper. He'd have to kick this about 55 metres to score from here. I think he's going to have a go.
Going to have a shot. Well, why not? I'm not going to talk and put commentators' curse on him, though, Stu.
Well, he kicked a nice torp out of stoppage before. He has a go again here. And in fact, he was called play on as he went round on the arc trying to get some distance. The kick wasn't threatening the goal anyway. So the end of the first quarter, an entertaining affair. We've got Palmerston 11 points up at this stage after they kicked the last 3 goals of the quarter, Liz.
Yeah, that's right. It is Palmerston Magpies 5-1-31 leading the Tiwi Bombers 3-20. We'll be back for the second quarter after these messages.
You know what great mates Territorians can be.
Always willing to lend a hand.
Or something else.
So if they ever ask to borrow your car,
As you know they will.
you can say yes, knowing that your TIO comprehensive car insurance has them covered.
Same as you. It's good to know. So get a quote today.
TIO. We're for Territorians.
Kazali's Palmerston Club has been renovated. Come check out our brand new cafe open 7 days a week. And with the new Kids Club, we are the perfect spot for a worry-free catch-up with friends. Enjoy hot meals with nightly specials at the bistro or cold drinks at the sports bar. Feeling lucky? Have a go at the latest machines in our gaming lounge or grab your mates for a round of pool. Family gathering or casual meetings, we have something for everyone. Kazali's Palmerston Club, making a difference.
Time to escape, cause I'm in need of warmer weather. Sail upon the stream to find there's someplace better. And I'm going far and wide. Ooh.
Great Northern Brewing Co., the beer from up here.
You know Territorians are a hardy bunch.
Hats off to you. Whether you're new or you've been here forever, we know what the weather can throw at us. That's why TIO Home Insurance covers your home for cyclone, storm surge and flood. It's good to know. And with the only contact centre, claims team and assessors based in the Territory,
We're here when you need us most.
TIO, we're for Territorians.
AFL Northern Territory would like to remind spectators that congregating at the team huddles is not permitted during the breaks.
Welcome back to TIO Stadium in Darwin for the second quarter of this round 10 TIO NTFL Men's Premier League game between the Tiwi Bombers and the Palmerston Magpies. And it's been a bit of a shootout today with 8 goals scored amongst the teams, but it's the Palmerston Magpies who took an 11-point lead into the first quarter, Stu.
It is. I really enjoyed the first quarter, Liz, and looking forward to the rest of the game. And yeah, we're just going through some of the players, and looks like both teams have probably recruited a little bit in the early part of the season, and some good players coming into the NTFL competition, so it's good to see. We'll talk more about them as the game progresses, but we're underway in the second quarter, and it's Meadows again for Palmerston gets the hand pass forward, but couldn't find a teammate, and the ball's loose on the outer wing as it spills back inside, and now Tiwi the opportunity to go forward. On the end of this one was Cunningham, bounced off his chest, and hand pass goes forward. Cunningham's in the action again, chips in short and finds Thompson here, and the mark's been paid about 40 metres out from goal on slight angle. Hand passes off to Dion Munkara, who kicks an underground ball. It got through a few players.
Nearly went through.
Eventually got chopped off, and Palmerston able to work it out of defence now around the outer wing, but not for long as it spills over the back, and the big fellow down there at lock picks up, drives the ball forward, but reading it well down there was Luke Meadows for Palmerston. He chops it off at half back.
He's been busy today, Meadows. Had a really good first quarter for the Magpies.
So he chips the ball along the wing. Oh, big leap out there, a bit early perhaps, and play on's the call. The ball went over the back and bounced out of bounds. So boundary throw in right on the outer wing in front of the old scoreboard as we wait for the Rucks to take their position. Hollenby and Lock again. It's been an interesting duel so far, and this time Palmerston again went out and worked the ball down towards half forward. Across half back there was Hooker, I think it is, for Tiwi, and he's rewarded with the free kick for a high tackle. Goes straight up the corridor and finds the big fella Jackson Lock. Lock looks to switch the ball to the grandstand wing. That's a good pass, and finds Silvani Babui. Babui plays on straight away, brings the ball back inside the corridor and finds Tipping Woody. He drills a pass forward but misses the target, and Palmerston looking to tidy up out of the back. Davey gets a hand pass across here to Cole. Cole through the hands, and Palmerston will work it out again. Some good work down there by Shadforth. Gets the hand pass forward, and Davey goes long looking for bats. Some good defensive work by Michael Dunn down there. Just threw his arms in the air and was fortunate that the ball hit one of them.
Still in.
Bet's a bit of magic on the boundary line, as we've seen many times. Gets a hand pass across and a snap goal.
Wow.
And mark that one down as an absolute assist for Eddie Betts, who got it across to the big fella down there, Benjamin Gibbison again, who's probably one of those recruits we were talking about, Liz, and he's kicked his third goal. Yeah,
let's all just watch this for a minute. Eddie Betts, anyone else would think the ball has gone out. The two number 18s battling it out there. Goes one way, tries to get the handball underneath, goes over the top and through to his teammate who kicks a goal in the goal square. So, wow, Eddie Betts today. He's really putting on a show. Amazing. That's got to be in play of the round for the NTFL this week, Stu.
Certainly it will be, I would imagine. But, yeah, the ball's never dead. Well, he's around the place, that's for sure.
Absolutely not. And it was Benjamin Gibbison with his third goal, a new recruit for the Palmerston Magpies from Labrador in Queensland.
Dion Munkara drives Tiwi forward now. Cole with the fist and then follows up, gets a hand pass out, just spilt out there, unfortunately, though, by Guthrie, and allows the Tiwi forwards to come in and put some pressure on. And so we'll have a ball up again.
And how great was that vision, Stu, of Eddie Betts over there on the wing? My young fella will watch that again and again, try and reenact it. I know all these kids just love Eddie Betts playing up here in the NTFL.
Fantastic work by our camera crew, that's for sure. It's great coverage today, as usual. So play on's the call, and again, it's Guthrie involved doing some heavy work, and Meadows out of defence again, sweeps the long hand pass to Ryan Wharf. Ryan Wharf goes by hand again across to Cross. Cross has Froggy Davey out wide here, and he chips the ball down to his nephew here, but there's a water runner in the way, and he's a Palmerston water runner, so I think they'll lose the ball here. Just unfortunate.
That's a quick transition there, so it looks like the free kick is going to go to Colombo there, and a 50-metre penalty for not returning the ball fast enough. So that'll put the Tiwi Bombers right up on their 50 line, Stu.
That's a huge turnaround because Palmerston were going forward, and Colombo plays on straight away, kicks down the corridor, ball spills free. Some clever work behind the back by Cunningham. Now toes it out to Colombo again. He ducks back inside, gets tackled eventually, gets his hand pass out. Play on's the call. Robinson gets involved now. He hand passes across here to Puruntatameri, and eventually it goes into the hands of Tipungwuti, Paulinus Tipungwuti, and he finishes with a goal. And gee, that was just an unfortunate turnaround for Palmerston. And you know, you can't blame the water runners. It's a really hot day, as we've mentioned before. It's crucial that they get the water to the players, and just unfortunate that he got involved too close to where the action was.
Yeah, so it was Paulinus Tipungwuti who's finished off with a goal there, his second for the day in the number 39 jumper. So he's having a pretty good game for the Tiwi Bombers. So drawing that margin a little bit closer now. Palmerston Magpies still in the lead, 6-1-37 to Tiwi Bombers 4-26, Stu. So just an 11-point ball game again, which was the margin at quarter time.
Yep, a goal each in this second quarter, and we just roll on with the attacking footy and hope it continues as Kim Cantilla this time gets a clearance. It's a high kick forward. Robinson underneath it just couldn't take the mark, and play on's the call now. And Tipungwuti got the kick across, but Cole chops it off for Palmerston. Well, it's a bit of a lazy kick coming out of defence, but fortunately lands in the hands of his teammate, and through the hands Morgan Morris gets it across to Guthrie. Guthrie's interfered with after he kicked the ball, and it's a relayed free kick to Clay Shadforth. Shadforth goes short here, but the mark's spilt by Gibbison, and now Tiwi the opportunity. Almost a high tackle there. Play on's the call. Colombo finds some space and kicks it out in front of Robinson, just inside the centre square. He tries to duck around the defender there, but got caught and penalised. So
umpire just calling it back. Umpires today, Mark Noonan, as we said, Samson Bammett, who's in his second men's Premier League game after debuting last weekend, Brody Morecambe and Andrew Peach in the green.
So Flanagan goes short to McMasters on the outer wing. Michaelis McMasters chips in short, and he finds Gibbison.
Speaking of Masters, Shannon Masters down there, the former president and player on the...
Oh!
Wow.
Eddie Betsy, huge leap, and was almost horizontal going back and got his hands to it but couldn't take the mark. Play on's the call. And sorry to interrupt.
That's all right. Talking about the Palmerston coaches, I was going to bring them into the game, but it's Eddie Betts' game today, Stu.
Wow, that would have been a mark of the year contender for sure. But there's a free kick out here, and it's Puruntatameri done for Tiwi, who's the recipient. He's looking to go around the outer wing. That's a wobbling kick. I think he tried a torp into the breeze and just slewed off the side of the boot and out of bounds on the full. So
yeah, it'll be Froggy Davey who'll bring that ball back in. Pretty cool to be playing senior football with your nephew, Stu, wouldn't it? He's played with his sons, and now his identical twin brother, Russie's son, Waylon, is out there. A family connection.
Chips into Ryan Wharf, and just moving a bit slowly now. He's got Stafford on the lead now, but the kick misses. Puruntatameri Dunn's involved again, but Stafford puts the pressure on him, comes to Sutton in the end. He chips the ball down here, and mark taken or a free kick either way, but it's Gibbison once again, and he's really getting involved in this game now, and he's kicked a couple of goals in the first quarter. He's scored Palmerston's only goal so far this quarter, and now he's got an opportunity with a set shot once again from about 30 out, but a pretty tight angle.
Yeah, 3 goals already today, and it's only the 9-minute mark of the second quarter, Stu, so a pretty handy game by Benjamin Gibbison.
So comes in now, kicks on the way. Looks like he's pushed that one across the face of goal and sneaks it through for a behind only. So an opportunity for Tiwi to relieve now. It's Hooker coming out of fullback. He kicks long straight down the middle of the ground, and he's got Puruntatameri Dunn in some space out there. He plays on now and loops the hand pass over the top, but unfortunately McAdam couldn't take the ball cleanly. Play on's the call again, and Callum Groves is involved now, tries to break a couple of tackles, gets it across to Anand eventually. He chips down the line where Stafford's got some space. He kicks long to the goal square. McAdam comes across and takes a good defensive mark, and now plays on and kicks to Colombo, who's got some space at half back. He hand passes across And Tiwi running the ball out of defence now. That kick's just gone a bit too long, but Thompson's good enough to work back and take possession, but he's got tackled as he tried to hand pass, and McMasters brings Palmerston forward again, and Sutton on the end of this gets the hand pass back to Ugle. Ugle goes short, and he finds Guthrie at half forward. Guthrie wheels around on the left foot, kicks long, it's too long. Betts comes in, makes the contest, and Stafford on the ground, picks up, kicks high on the left foot. Betts is underneath this one with Munkara, but Munkara wins out this time. That's a good mark under pressure on that ball. Went about 40 metres high. And
Eddie was indicating to the umpire he got a hand on that too, so his closing speed was fantastic, Stu.
Yeah, come on, Eddie, I think that was a mark.
Waylon Davey had the ball at his feet there. He has a snap on goal.
Oh,
hit the post.
Just thumped it into the right-hand goal post, but yeah, certainly some excitement down in the Palmerston forward line when the ball goes in there so far today, and it's been a real treat to watch, and hopefully, as we say, it continues for the rest of the game. And Tiwi certainly not out of the game at all. They've had some magic moments themselves, and only a couple of goals down as Hooker runs the ball out of defence now, gets the hand pass forward to Dunn, back to Hooker, who's under some pressure, but gets his kick forward. Davey comes in, gets his hands to it, and Wharf on the end of it chips it towards half forward. Cruz comes across but couldn't take the mark. Meadows involved, chips it in forward, goes through the hands down there of Gibbison. Now an opportunity for Morgan Morris, but he's pressurised by Silvani Babui. The hand pass comes across here, and now it's Betts on the end of this one, snaps around the corner, and I think Ben Gibbison's just repaid him for one of the couple that Eddie's handed to him, and Betts is on the board once again.
He sure is. He said to Ben Gibson, you got 3 goals, now I'm going to have 3 goals, and they are working very well together. We just watched the replay here, so gives the handball off, but then gets it back from Gibson. So some good teamwork there by Palmerston as Eddie Betts kicks it on the right for his 3rd goal. So the score now, Palmerston Magpies 7-3-45, leading the Tiwi Bombers 4-26 at the 12.5 minute mark of the 2nd quarter here at TIO Stadium in Darwin. You're watching AFL&T's coverage of the 2021-22 TIO NTFL season. And
really, you know, we play in pretty difficult conditions up here, but the last week or so, Liz, has been particularly warm up here, and conditions look fantastic on the screen, but it's pretty hard work out there, I can assure. It
is hot. I was actually out in the garden today and I was sweating just watering it, so imagine playing sport in these conditions. I keep saying we've got some of the toughest footballers in Australia playing up here, as we see Meadows again just take that ball out of the centre for Palmerston.
Chips forward, this time it's just out of the reach of Gibbison, and
Betts with a tackle.
Yeah, McAdam just too slow that time. He went to look down the line but didn't see anything he liked, and changed direction, and Betts just pounced on him and wins himself a free kick.
I think he's looking for someone to run past you, but no Palmy players there. He's going to pass it off.
Yeah, he goes short, looking for Guthrie, but
Gibson's there.
Off the ground this time. He can do everything, this big fella. He's put it through for his 4th. Yeah, I think Eddie was a bit weary after a couple of repeat efforts there, and the distance was beyond him. He looked to chip it in, but they worked it forward, and probably not enough defensive pressure from the Tiwi defenders, and the big fella Gibbison is really impressing. I don't know if this is his first game for Palmerston, but I don't recall seeing him before today, Liz.
No, I don't either, and I did a quick Google search at quarter time, which told me he's from Labrador Footy Club in Queensland. I think he might have spent a little bit of time on a Sydney Academy list as well, from what I could find in a minute. But wow, what a combination. Eddie Betts and Gibson, that'd be something, some sort of footy memory to take with you. So the score now, Palmerston 8-3-51, leading Tiwi Bombers 4-26, as we see Tiwi this time get the centre clearance.
So it's a high ball. It's still inside the centre square, but Tiwi trying to force it forward. Colombo was involved there, tapped it forward, and now a toe poke out by Hampton Timms for Palmerston, and some great work by the big fella Hollenby, and smashed the kick down and forward, and Gibbison again on the end of this one. Kicks it out in front of Stafford. He spilt the mark, but recovers, kicks high into the goal square. Betts is down there, so is Michael Dunn, but just over 4 are behind only this time, as Dunn put some pressure on Betts as the ball came in very high.
Just watching Gibbison too, he just has that ability to lose his player. They probably need to put someone a bit more mobile like David Cruz or someone on him as we see a bit of a scuffle break out on the wing, but they're going to play on, which is probably the best thing to do in this situation, and the ball's going to keep on moving with Tiwi Bombers with possession, Stu.
Yeah, Robinson gets a hand pass across to Hooker. Hooker out of defence. Kicks long down towards half forward. Going back with the flight of the ball was Anand. He couldn't take the mark, but he recovered and took possession. He gets tackled and the ball spills free. Cantilla in there now looking to duck underneath, and Cunningham comes in to assist. He hooks the ball around the corner down towards the goal square, and in front was Colombo, did really well, and the free kick was paid. He looked to position himself well to mark the ball and just got infringed as the ball came in, and he'll go back and have a set shot.
Yeah, he's been trying really hard today, Colombo. His first opening 5 minutes of the first quarter were really impressive, and he's from the Doncaster Football Club, which is in the Eastern Football League down there in Melbourne, which is a pretty strong league there in the suburbs.
So they really need this goal. It's the lead's just snuck out a bit, and unfortunately he's missed that one to the right, so a behind only, and Alwyn Davey will go back and bring the ball back into play. Yeah,
Froggy assuming that fullback position today that is usually held by his brother Aaron when Aaron's in town from Cairns playing footy, so he's being the general down there today, has Frog.
Chips it in and finds McMasters at halfback. He goes straight up the corridor again. Hampton Timms this time on the end of it. He looking to chip it to Hollenby, but just misses him, and that's a good mark taken in the end by McAdam.
Yeah, he read the ball really well.
Yeah, he's playing on with a bit of a mongrel punt forward, but everyone stopped and looked, and as Colombo just drifted in and took the mark, so yeah, I don't think Joshy Heath would be particularly pleased with that defensive effort down there from Palmerston. And Colombo, who had a shot at goal just moments ago from a tighter angle closer in, but this time he's straight in front and would have a better opportunity. This time he comes in and that's not his best kick, I don't think. He's squirted that one out to the right. And a behind once again.
Yeah, pretty cool name though, Christopher Colombo. I like it. So the score now, Palmerston Magpies 8-4-52, leading Tiwi Bombers 4-4-28. So a 4-goal margin.
So Davey out of defence, brings it down here. McAdam chops across, gets a hand to it, but now a quick kick forward there by Munkanaomi, but it's turned over, and Palmerston with the opportunity through the middle of the ground through McMasters has a running player out wide in Anand. Anand goes long forward, but that's off target, and Cruz just chips across. Kicks high out there, made it pretty hard for his teammate. In fact, it's gone too far and floated out of bounds on the full. And it'll be Guthrie who's covering the ground as usual. Chips the ball in and finds his teammate McMasters. McMasters goes short inside forward 50, and he hits up Luke Meadows, who marks about 45 metres out on a slight angle.
Yeah, so Meadows is from Perth. He played for the West Perth Falcons, and he spent a bit of time on VFLW list with Williamstown as well, Stu.
VFLW list?
VFL Williamstown. Not VFLW, sorry, Luke. But with that man bun, got the hairdo for it. What a huge kick, but it's just going to hit the behind post and be out of bounds on the full. But speaking of women's footy, tomorrow, Stu, a really good game. Second place third with Darwin Buffaloes and St Mary's out here on TIO Stadium, and we'll be back in the box calling that one. I'm looking forward to that.
Definitely, and that competition's starting to shape itself with the top 3 or 4 looking like the main contenders, but some good footy been played all year in the women's league, and looking for that to continue. But it's Palmerston this time through Flanagan, who comes forward. Reaching over the top there was Cruz, but just fell into the hands of Davey. He chips in to his nephew Waylon Davey, who recovers, chips towards goal. The kick looks pretty good. He's got some smarts about him, Liz. That's another good finish by Waylon Davey.
Well, he sure does. And how's that? Your uncle who played in the AFL kicks it to you and you get a goal, but he's had 5 uncles, as I've said, play in the AFL. So Stephen Motlop, Daniel Motlop, Shannon Motlop are his uncles, and Aaron Davey and Froggy Davey on Dad's side, and of course Mum Lauren Motlop played for the NT as well, so a highly skilled footballer herself. So a goal there to Waylon Davey for the Palmerston Magpies sees the score go to 9-4-58 to the Tiwi Bombers 4-4-28, a 30-point margin at the 20-minute mark of the second quarter.
Yeah, that lead just starting to stretch out a bit now. Palmerston have kicked 4-1 in this quarter, and Tiwi have had a couple of opportunities that they perhaps should have taken, but still we know with the Tiwi style of football they can get a run on pretty quickly, so I don't think Joshy Heath will be relaxing too much at this stage as Palmerston go forward with the clearance. That's some good work out there by Lambton, and he kicks on the left. It's going wide towards the boundary line inside forward 50, but stays in play. And now Betts is involved again, ducks around the tackle, chips in short, good use of the ball as we'd expect, and puts it in the hands of Heath Morgan Morris for Palmerston. So some more clever work down there, and Betts is certainly proving a handful for the Tiwi defenders today, but it's Morgan Morris who's got the opportunity to kick for goal.
He sure is, and he had them lining up for that kick too. Waylon Daly was right behind him, so let's see if he can put this one through for another goal for the Magpies.
So the kick's on the way. Kick looks good. It
wow.
looked really good from a tight angle. He didn't go around the corner at all, just went with the drop punt, had every confidence in the kick, and went straight as a die, straight through the middle, and another goal. And this is proving to be a fruitful quarter for Palmerston. They kicked their 5th goal and have only conceded 1, so stretching that lead out to 6 goals now. They
are, and Heath Morgan Morris becomes their 5th goal kicker for the day. Singles as well to Daniel Stafford and Waylon Davey, well 3 to Eddie Betts and 4 to Benjamin Gibbison, who a lot of goals on the board today. We did say it would be an attacking game, and that score now 10-4-64, Palmerston leading at Tiwi 4-4-28, Stu.
From the restart, the two big fellas do battle. No clear winner again. Guthrie just runs the ball out of the centre square now, and now picks up on the outer side of the ground, chips the ball in towards full forward. Coming across there was Shadforth. He has something he likes back in the corridor, and that's a good pass. He conceded a fair bit of ground, but hit his teammate Luke Meadows, who marks about 45 out from goal once again. Yeah,
and I've got Meadows in my best in the first half as he plays on and kicks a goal, Stu.
Yeah, that's a much better finish from Meadows, and he just looks a player, doesn't he, Liz? And he ran around that time and confident in his ability to score that goal, and just drilled it through. So, certainly been an important player for them.
Yeah, and he's going to come off to the bench and have a break now, and it's Michaelis McMasters who is running on for Palmerston. So he's played for Palmy the last few seasons from Alice Springs, and he spent a bit of time on NT Thunder's list a few years back. So another good player for Palmy. So that score now, Magpies 11-4-70 leading Tiwi Bombers 4-4-28. We're at the 23.5 minute mark of the second quarter here at TIO Stadium in Darwin.
Just Noonan just sorting things out in the middle of the ground. We're underway now, and Locke, I think, wins this hit out, and Tiwi the opportunity. Colombo gets a kick around the corner, straight down the ground. Ball still inside forward 50, but towards Tiwi's attacking end. There's plenty of players around the ball, and umpire Noonan eventually has had enough and calls for a ball up. Hollenby again doing the ruck work, wins that one pretty decisively. Guthrie tries to toe poke it off the ground and then follows up with a tackle, which was some pretty good work. Kick forward by Tippum Woody, but missed his target in Cunningham. But Cunningham's done really well defensively there to lay the tackle on an end, and wins the free kick for incorrect disposal. So
sensational pressure there by Douglas Cunningham. Let's see if he can kick it from that pocket as well, Stu, just like the last goal for Magpies. Over there in front of the McMahon Services and Intract sign.
Pretty tough kick from deep out there. Looks like it's just staying shallow, and again through for a behind. So another half opportunity missed for Tiwi, and Palmerston will set up again coming out of defence. Davey goes short. to the outer side and finds Flanagan. Flanagan looks like he's going to chip it back to Davey in the defensive goal square as Dion Munkara comes up to man the mark, and they've got some loose players that just chipping it around, and Guthrie this time is calling for someone to lead towards him, goes wider instead, and this time the mark's spilt out there by Gibbison.
He needs to go back to the forward line. So there can't be too much longer left in this second quarter. It's been a pretty impressive one by Palmerston, certainly stretched that lead out on the scoreboard, Stu.
Yeah, they've been good. They've been pretty potent up forward, as we've said a number of times when the ball's gone forward. So, and Max Sutton involved there, and he certainly hasn't been Palmerston's worst player either. He's had plenty of involvement.
One-handed pick up by Eddie Betts there.
And kick around the corner looking for Stafford, finds him, and Betts is running on.
Give it back.
No, Stafford's having none of that.
No.
He's only going to be kicking from 52. That's just a stab pass for Daniel Stafford, and he'll go back with plenty of confidence here, and takes his time. And I think Eddie's probably pretty happy with that as well. He's done a fair bit of work so far, and
he's just high-fiving the Tiwi Bombers player when he got down there. It's great. They must be loving playing against him. Such a good fella.
Stafford now stabs it towards goal. Michael Dunn gets back, but I don't think he's got his hand to it in time.
Wow.
It's carried over the line, and it wasn't the cleanest kick that we've seen Stafford off the boot, but he's such a powerful kick that it got the distance anyway, and just before the siren went for half-time. So, a really impressive quarter for Palmerston. Yeah,
so as we said, the siren has gone. A goal on the siren pretty much to Daniel Stafford sees the score at half-time. Palmerston Magpies 12-4-76, leading the Tiwi Bombers 4-5. 29. It was a 7-goal quarter for the Magpies. Very impressive, and we'll go to the halftime break and be back after these messages.
You know what great mates Territorians can be.
Always willing to lend a hand, or something else. So if they ever ask to borrow your car, as you know they will, you can say yes, knowing that your TIO comprehensive car insurance has them covered. Same as you. It's good to know.
So get a quote today.
TIO. We're for Territorians.
Absolutely zero.
Zero.
Yeah, definitely.
It has to be zero.
Yes.
Yep.
Absolutely.
I don't think that's asking too much.
Domestic violence is everybody's business.
And it's not just the physical abuse, it's the things we don't see.
It is hurting our families. It is killing our families.
A lot of people have been silent to this fact, and I think it's about time we all speak up together and say no more to this form of abuse.
No more.
No more. No more family violence.
No more to the family violence.
No more. No more.
No more.
Everyone feels stressed or worried from time to time.
There's no shame in asking for help.
Yarning to friends or family can make you feel better.
Sometimes it's as simple as a text or a phone call.
If you or someone you know needs support,
visit www.mentalhealthnt.com.au.
Listen up, kids.
Make school your story.
Help you succeed and rise to glory.
Safe to go to school.
So go the distance. 10 every day. Learn and listen. School holiday rockin', we love a break.
Time with friends and family is always right.
When it's time for school, don't get slack.
It's safe to go to school, can't wait to get back. So don't cut corners.
To the full term. It's safe to go to school and it's time to learn. So don't cut corners, do the full term. Make school your story and it's time to learn.
School returns February 2021. Written and authorised by the Northern Territory Government.
Time to escape, cause I'm in need of warmer weather. Sail upon the stream to find there's someplace better. And I'm going
beer from up here.
At Muzbuzz, keep cool this summer with our new range of frappes, including cookies and cream, chai and matcha. You can also enjoy our totally scrumptious range of food and snacks. Australian owned and operated. Muzbuzz, great coffee is just the beginning.
On Territory roads, anything can happen. So you need to drive to the conditions. Speeding can get you into all sorts of trouble. Dirt roads aren't just dusty. When it's hard to see, they're dangerous. At water crossings, remember, you're driving a motor car, not a boat. High water can be deep trouble. All sorts of animals can be on the road, so watch out. And if the weather is bad, slow down, you mob. Drive to the conditions and arrive in good condition.
The time to kickstart your business is now. Get your message across with the experienced local TV production team at Kick Digital. Cost effective, rapid turnaround, exceptional service. Kick Digital. Television production energized.
CFS Schoolwear is the perfect choice for quality custom-made school uniforms. Ideal for all school-related activities. 50 or 500 students, we have what you need. Contact CFS Gear for your free CFS Schoolwear quote today.
Vaccinate. To protect our players.
To protect our coaches.
To protect our umpires.
To protect our supporters.
To protect our game.
Head to the Danila Dilba website for more information.
Getting my hands on the footy and just being with my mates.
I like being outdoors. It just makes me happy. I don't like it when I get yelled at.
It's pretty embarrassing when someone's shouting at you halfway through the game.
It makes me feel like I'm useless and I can't do anything.
We're just kids.
We're just here to have fun.
Let us do what we love.
Just let kids be kids.
You know Territorians are a hardy bunch. Hats off to you. Whether you're new or you've been here forever, we know what the weather can throw at us. That's why TIO Home Insurance covers your home for cyclone, storm surge and flood. It's good to know. And with the only contact centre, claims team and assessors based in the Territory, we're here when you need us most. TIO, we're for Territorians.
AFL Northern Territory would like to remind spectators that congregating at the team huddles is not permitted during the breaks.
Welcome back to TIO Stadium in Darwin for the second half of this Round 10 TIO NTFL Men's Premier League game between the Tiwi Bombers and the Palmerston Magpies. Liz Cruz and Stu Davis joining you from the commentary box today. It is the Magpies in the lead, 12-4-76, leading Tiwi 4-5-29. A 47-point margin at half-time, Stu. It was a good second quarter for the Palmerston Magpies.
Yeah, it certainly was. A pretty even first quarter. Palmerston held a couple of goal lead, but then really blew it apart in the second quarter with 7 goals to 1, and Tiwi with all the work in front of them to do. But it's been a pretty entertaining game nonetheless, and we've had a good display by Palmerston and some players that have come to our attention that we probably weren't really aware of before, and so always interesting in NTFL footy that players come into the competition and impress.
Yeah, absolutely. 4 goals to Benjamin Gibson, who's from Labrador in Queensland. Another one, Luke Meadows, has had a really good game so far, and of course Eddie Betts with 3 goals to half-time, Stu.
Yep, and speaking of Meadows, he's got a clearing kick here, but the free kick's going the other way, and one of those players that we hadn't been much aware of before, Colombo, will get the free kick for Tiwi. Kicks long down towards half forward, but that one's misdirected, and Hampton Timms chopped it off. He clears towards the grandstand side, and Palmerston with the numbers work it through the hands, and Hampton Timms has followed up again and kicks high, but that's there's no one out there for Palmerston that can help him advance the ball, and Dion Munkara chops that off easy as you like, and kicks forward and finds Robinson on the outer side. He comes back inboard to Colombo. Colombo kicks from just outside 50, but again misdirected, and Alwyn Davey chops that one off, looks to play on across the ground, gets it across to Flanagan, who chips the ball out wide here, and
just dropped it.
Cross involved again, gets a quick kick forward. Groves comes in. Some clever work between Groves and Guthrie there, and Groves gets the kick forward, and Gibbison takes the mark. He chips the ball along the wing and finds Brandon Ugle here in front of the grandstand. So he's looking for cross again, but the kick's not his best, and bounces out of bounds just forward of the wing for Palmerston on the grandstand side of the ground.
Yeah, just an ugly kick there which went over the boundary line, and the umpire will throw it in.
So Guthrie again gets the hand pass out here to Meadows. Meadows swings the ball back inside the corridor, and the players just got lost in defence there, I think, and the ball floated over the top, and the big fella Gibson again on the end of that one, and he marks basically at the top of the goal square and should have no problem kicking his fifth goal.
Yeah, just an easy mark there, chest mark in the end to Gibson. So let's see what he can do with this one.
He's just probably his worst kick of the day.
Give him a wrap.
From the easiest shot, and he's missed that to the right. So a let off for Tiwi, and Hooker brings the ball back in, goes straight up the middle of the ground, and hits Puran Tatameri Dunn there at centre half back. He plays on through the hands back to Hooker, and Hooker goes long on that left foot down towards half forward, working back for Palmerston. There is Liam Flanagan, and he chops that one off easily, chips inboard to Hampton Timms, and he switches again to the near side of the ground where the mark's taken by Kobe Anand in some space. He goes up the line to Cross. Cross takes the mark, plays on now, and chips the ball forward, looking there for Sutton. He was under plenty of pressure, and the ball spilled out, and now Colombo trying to dodge around, couldn't get past, and eventually had to hook the kick forward. He's done it pretty well to Thompson. Thompson kicks inside 50, but it's all Palmerston back there as Groves tidies up and switches to the outer side of the ground where Flanagan's first there, picks the ball up under some pressure, hand passes back, and Groves comes in to assist, but Tiwi with some numbers and opportunity, but again can't take it cleanly, and there's plenty of pressure on, and Palmerston work it through the hands. Wharf over to Guthrie. Guthrie goes long round the wing, looking there for Waylon Davey. Again, recovers well, gets the hand pass inboard to Wharf, to Hollenby, back to Wharf, and Wharf long, looking for Betts in the forward line there, but he's worried out of it in the end, and he's given away a free kick.
Something that Palmerston doing pretty much out of the back line every time Stu is switching. It's something the Tiwi Bombers coaching staff probably need to get on top of, because it's becoming a common occurrence now.
Yeah, just spreading the ball, getting it in space, and that's helping them move the ball pretty easily forward. Chip pass forward there by Lambton was a bit of a floater, but found its target in Max Sutton, and Sutton again going inside 50, but this time it's chopped off by McAdam. And
it's called to play on and holding the ball.
So it's obviously,
and
whoops,
that way 50-metre penalty. He's telling the umpire for 50 metres for answering back. So Gibbison should kick this one through Stu for his 5th goal, because he'll be taken right up to the goal square.
Just a bit of untidy stuff there from Tiwi. They had possession of the ball and just given it up, plus a 50-metre penalty, and Gibbison just taps that one through, as you would expect from the goal line.
Yep, so mark him down for 5 goals so far today. It's just the 5-minute mark of the 3rd quarter, and the score now goes to Palmerston Magpies 13-5-83, leading the Tiwi Bombers 4-5-29. We'll just watch the replay here and work out where it got touched or play on.
The mark was pretty clear, and then he's stepped
That's
forward to try to kick, and play on. Yeah, definitely went. Because he hadn't gone back at all, taking that step forward took him over the mark, so it was a reasonable call in the end.
So 5 goals to Benjamin Gibbison. He's been fantastic for Palmerston today from Labrador in Queensland. A really good pickup.
And this has been a great ruck duel as well between the two big fellas. Hollenby for Palmerston, obviously a local lad who's come through the grades, but he's down in the middle of the ground now as I speak.
Clutching his ankle or his knee as the trainer's going to go out to him.
In the meantime, Tiwi have got the ball forward. Thompson's just dropped that one, and Palmerston play on through Groves, now back to Davey, and another player down on the ground down here, but not so serious, I don't think. But Wharf has taken the mark. He chips along the line looking for McMasters and finds him. Wharf running on into some space, but that gets clogged up pretty quickly in the end, and he chips forward to Waylon Davey. The ball just travelled the required distance, but it looks like Hollenby's back up on his feet again, so that's a good sign.
He's really held his own today, Waylon Davey. Been impressed. I didn't get to watch his game last week because we were here watching, calling another game, so known Way since he was a little tacker, so really interested in watching his career develop.
So Guthrie getting involved again, receives back after passing off, and now goes long into the forward line, and Betts out in front, just hung in the air a bit really, and some vintage stuff from Eddie, takes the mark.
And he's got his trademark extra large shorts on, Stu.
So good mark in front. Solid hands, and he'll go back for the set shot on 45-degree angle, and kicks on its way. It's just drifting across the face of goal, so a rare miss there for Eddie, and Tiwi bring it back in, and Hooker, as he has done all day, will bring the ball back into play.
I think Eddie was on the receiving end of some heckling down there. He had a bit of a smile as he looked at the crowd after missing that shot. All in good fun.
So hook around into the centre square. The mark was spilt, and Jackson Locke gets the kick forward. It's going wide out towards half forward. Running onto it out there is Braden Rioli, but couldn't take possession, and Ryan Wharf tidies up for Palmerston as they work the ball around the outer side of the ground. And now looking to go inside forward 50 again. Stafford on the end of this, but the kick's wide and bounces out of bounds in the right forward pocket for Palmerston. And another boundary throw in. So we're 9 minutes gone in this third quarter. Just the one goal in this quarter so far. So things have just slowed up a bit as far as that's concerned. And now an opportunity for Palmerston again on the outside of the boot. That was Shadforth this time and just skewed that one out of bounds on the full.
Yeah, Meadows involved again there with the quick hands out. Been a really good contributor for Palmerston today.
So Hooker out of defence for Tiwi, looking to come to the grandstand side, and that's a nice mark taken down there. And Cantilla gets the hand pass over the top, looking for McAdam, but put him in a bit of trouble. Cantilla involved again, and now he's got a couple of Palmerston opponents. Just drops that ball. He's probably a bit fortunate there to be received the free kick. Not sure he disposed of it properly, but he's an important player for Tiwi and really has been pretty quiet today. And hand passes off in the end to McAdam. McAdam just bombs it forward. Oh, almost taken there by Purantatameri Dunn.
Oh.
Picked up by
Colombo.
And
he's had a few cracks at it today, but hasn't yet been able to kick a goal, as we see the ball go out to the far side, and it's Meadows again with that kick over there in front of the old scoreboard.
So Meadows around the outer side in front of Shadforth, who ducks back inside now, kicks in, looking for Gibson, couldn't find him, and picked up in defence by Hooker. He gets it to the outer side of the ground where McLennan takes the mark. He plays on quickly, chips the ball in. That's a good pass inboard, and Tipperui takes that mark inside forward 50. They've got some players in the goal square if they can get it down there. The kick goes forward, but Palmerston have worked back, and Flanagan takes the mark and now clears to the near side where Cross takes the mark and hand passes off to Alwyn Davey. Davey chips down here, or Ugle juggles a couple of times, but takes the mark in the end. And now kicks inboard and finds Gibbison once again, who takes the mark, plays on now, kicks long towards Stafford at full forward. Stafford's arms go up bits, reads it off the hands, but Michael done some good defensive work, and now trying to run out of defence, has one bounce as he tries to evade a couple of Palmerston forwards down there and chips it to Kieran DeSantis at centre half back. DeSantis goes wide to the outer side, and the ball out in front of Tipperui out there, but he couldn't take the mark. Was that thunder in the background, Liz?
Not sure what it was, Stu. The sky's looking fairly clear. We were here last night for juniors, and the later games got called off because of the lightning that was around, and we haven't had much rain in the northern suburbs so far in this build-up, so it has been nice when it's come.
Yeah, so boundary throw in, and just doing the ruck work this time, got it down. But again, Anand involved, gets the hand pass across to Morgan Morris. He chips it forward, and it's marked by Meadows. Hand passes forward again, and now Wharf centres the ball inside the corridor. Shadforth on the end of this spilt the mark, but picks up, snaps towards goal. It's going right to the goal line. Working back there was Cruz, got a hand to it and managed to tap it through for a behind. So Cruz was looking to play on quickly out of defence, but eventually hands it back to Hooker, who swings the ball out towards the grandstand side. And again, good defensive work there. And John Dominic McLennan just pulled up a bit sore out of that contest, and he's lost his boot in the end as he's hobbling towards the bench. But in the meantime, we've got the boundary throw in, almost a throw out of the ruck contest there, but caught over the top of the ball for Tiwi was Douglas Cunningham, and in fact he was infringed with a high tackle, so Cunningham looking to switch the ball into the centre of the ground. Robinson over the back, but the ball spills free. Munkara running onto it now. Dion Munkara toes it forward. Looks like he's going to go off the ground again, but Flanagan's there first for Palmerston, but couldn't take the ball cleanly as Babui gets involved for Tiwi, but he couldn't take possession, and now Palmerston work it towards the outer wing as it's picked up by Gibbison out there, and he takes a couple of bounces as he runs away with a third bounce, and now goes long towards Betts in the forward pocket, and a good contested mark taken by Betts out in front.
Fantastic mark there by Eddie Betts over there under the McMahon Services in-track signage. He'll go back and have a look and see if he can kick that goal on. He's a pretty tough angle, but if anyone can do it, Eddie Betts can do it, Stu.
Yeah, I think he's having a look around to see what other options are there, but now he's
got one short.
He almost took that, but I think it got chopped off in the end, and so he's going to go long instead across the boot. The ball comes close to the goal line. Stafford's in there, and I think the ball's been touched into the goalpost, so it's a kick in for Tiwi. It'll be Hooker again doing the kick-in duties, and still only the one goal for the quarter as we approach the 15-minute mark.
Yeah, that score, Palmerston Magpies 13-8-86, leading the Tiwi Bombers 4-6-30. So a 56-point ball game at the moment.
So Palmerston going forward again, this time along the ground. Betts is involved, cleverly picks up, shrugs the tackle, gets a hand pass across, but was let down there by Sutton, I think, who was on the end of it, and his kick missed. There's a whistle on the play behind the action here, and it might be just trying to see what's going to... I think it's going to be a Palmerston free kick in the goal square.
Yeah, I think...
because there was action.
Action, yes. A player's been fouled behind the play, so it looks like Daniel Stafford's going to get the advantage, and the umpire's indicating that he needs to take the kick because the injured player is going off. So Stafford will have a shot. He's kicked 2 today, and we can mark that one down for his third, Stu.
Yeah, just all a bit confusing there, but obviously there was things happening down towards the centre of the ground, and Kobe Anand it is who's come off in the end.
Copped one to the ribs, I reckon.
Yeah, just holding his stomach or ribs, and it was a relayed free kick which Stafford had no problem putting through, so he's kicked a goal in every quarter now as well, Liz.
Yeah, so that score, Palmerston Magpies 14-8-92, leading the Tiwi Bombers 4-6-30, and Lizzie Corrie's in the scorers time box there. I was talking to her at half time, who's the mother of Alwyn Davey, Froggy, and the grandmother of Waylon Davey. She's doing a good job there in the air conditioning, where is the only place you'd want to be today, Stu.
Yeah, Luke Meadows was in the ruck then, although he didn't compete, and Palmerston still won the clearance. Ugle on the end of that had the player running back with the flight of the ball. Looks like he's copped one around the eye, and it'll be a free kick. Gene Puruntatameri arguing that he was going for the ball and made contact with the ball, but umpire Noonan having none of it, and it'll be Brandon Ugle who will take the free kick. So Ugle not on the scoreboard as yet, and he'll be kicking from about 40 out on not much of an angle.
Another famous football surname, Ugle, Stu. There's been a few of them over the years who've been impressive footballers.
Yeah, mainly from the west, but that one wasn't his best kick and fell short and was knocked through for a behind only. So, yeah, the game hasn't reached great heights in this third quarter, Liz. We had some expectations early, but probably the weather starting to affect players as well. It's pretty hard work, as we've said a couple of times, but now Tiwi the opportunity through Gene Puruntatameri, but that's an inventive hand pass there by Meadows, but Palmerston get it forward through Davey, and the ball at half forward. Shadforth working hard across half back for Palmerston down there, but he's swamped by Tiwi players. Dion Munkara running through, tapping the ball in front of him, and he cops a high bump and
gives Waylon Davey a pat on the head and a hug too, but got that free kick there, Dion Munkara. We know how explosive he can be. Be good to see him inject himself into the game a little bit more.
got that ball to Thompson, and he kicks forward where Kim Cantilla takes a mark, plays on straight away, kicks long. He's got a player in some space in the goal square. In fact, it goes over his head, and unfortunately for Tiwi, just bounces the wrong side of the goalpost and through for a behind. So just can't take a trick at the moment, Tiwi, and Palmerston work it out of defence.
They can't, but it was a much better build-up than by the Tiwi Bombers, and they showed what they can do.
So Guthrie just backward of centre for Palmerston, switches the ball to the near side of the ground where the mark's taken by Cross. Cross chips inboard again, and now through the hands it's Davey on the end of this. He switches to the outer side of the ground, and the mark's taken out there by McMasters. McMasters drills the ball forward looking for Betts. Betts cleverly picks it up, dribbles one along the ground towards goal, but it's gone straight across the face and seen over for a behind by Aidan McAdam.
The score now, Palmerston Magpies 14-10-94, as we hear a whistle, lead the Tiwi Bombers 4-7-31.
So just trying to clear players away from the goal square, I think. So we'll have another go at the kick in from the behind.
And Kobe Anand running back on to take his spot on the field again after going off injured a few minutes ago.
So McAdam kicks long out of defence. Nice mark taken here by Michael Thompson. Thompson looking to play on now, chips the ball forward, and a strong mark taken down here by Tipungwuti. Tipungwuti plays on down towards half forward. That kick's just gone a little bit too far, but Groves working desperately in defence for Palmerston. Picks the ball up, then has it knocked out of his hands. He's back in there fighting for it again on the ground, and eventually we'll have a ball up. So some good work in defence by Callum Groves. He was outnumbered a couple of times, but just kept fighting for the ball and forced a stoppage in the end.
Tipungwuti going up in the ruck against Gibbison there. Ball comes down, but it's a hot potato.
Yeah, Turner involved, but there's a free kick here, and it's going Tiwi's way, and it's Tipper Mantameri who kicks across looking for Dion Munkara. He's got some space now as he comes out wide, and he hit the target there in Paulinus Tipungwuti, but Tipungwuti just spilt the mark unfortunately, and the ball trickled out of bounds, and so another boundary throw in. 21 and a half minutes into the third quarter here at TIO Stadium as we wait for the boundary throw in now, and there is the siren. So yeah, just a couple of goals that quarter, and unfortunately for Tiwi, they were both to Palmerston, who've stretched that lead to upwards of 10 goals now.
Yeah, as you said, just the 2 goals to Palmerston in that quarter, which is a complete contrast to the first half where it was very free-flowing. The story of the day so far, Benjamin Gibbison with 5 for Palmerston, while Eddie Betts has kicked 3, as has Daniel Stafford, and Eddie Betts has been running amok. So we'll go to the 3-quarter time break and be back for the final quarter after these messages.
You know what great mates Territorians can be. Always willing to lend a hand, or something else. So if they ever ask to borrow your car, as you know they will, you can say yes, knowing that your TIO comprehensive car insurance has them covered. Same as you. It's good to know. So get a quote today. TIO. We're for Territorians.
Kazali's Palmerston Club has been renovated. Come check out our brand new cafe, open 7 days a week. And with the new Kids Club, we are the perfect spot for a worry-free catch-up with friends. Enjoy hot meals with nightly specials at the bistro or cold drinks at the sports bar. Feeling lucky? Have a go at the latest machines in our gaming lounge or grab your mates for a round of pool. Family gathering or casual meetings, we have something for everyone. Kazali's Palmerston Club, making a difference.
Time to escape, cause I'm in need of warmer weather. Sail upon the stream to find there's someplace better. And I'm going far and wide.
Great Northern Brewing Co., the beer from up here.
You know Territorians are a hardy bunch. Hats off to you. Whether you're new or you've been here forever, we know what the weather can throw at us. That's why TIO Home Insurance covers your home for cyclone, storm surge and flood. It's good to know. And with the only contact centre, claims team and assessors based in the Territory, we're here when you need us most. TIO, we're for Territorians.
AFL Northern Territory would like to remind spectators that congregating at the team huddles is not permitted during the breaks.
Welcome back to TIO Stadium for the final quarter of this round 10 TIO NTFL Men's Premier League game between the Tiwi Bombers and the Palmerston Magpies. It's a 63-point lead to Palmerston, a much quieter quarter for both teams in the third quarter, Stu, but maybe we'll talk about some of the better players so far today.
Yeah, look, some of the players that we haven't seen much of, I think. Luke Meadows has been really impressive for Palmerston, and the big fella Gibbison, of course. I've liked Hollenby in the ruck. He's competed all day. Looked like he was injured for a while before, but he's back out there now. And
Eddie Betts.
Eddie Betts, of course, yeah, has kicked some goals. And for Tiwi, Hooker's been pretty solid down back, and Chris Colombo has flashed in and out, but they would want some more from Dion Munkara and Kim Cantilla, I would think, in this final quarter. As play's underway, Hollenby's in there again, tries to kick off the ground, can't do so. Locke, who's battled hard against Hollenby, gets it out, but Palmerston with the clearance, the chip comes out. Guthrie, of course, is probably one that we should have mentioned as well, runs hard all day and gets on the end of this one again. He chips along the line here and finds Gibbison between wing and half forward. He's chipping inside forward 50 now, but that one's chopped off by Kieran DeSantis in defence. He feigned a hand pass but changed his mind now, chips inboard and finds Tipper Mandameri, who goes wide to Dion Munkara out here, and Munkara kicks long down the wing, and coming in there was Thompson, but the ball just bounced off his chest and couldn't keep it in play in the end, so a boundary throw in.
Yeah, and Palmerston have only had the Two wins this season, while Tiwi Bombers yet to get a win this season. So that'll take Palmerston to 3 wins if they can finish this game off, which they look likely to do, Stu.
Yeah, and they've shown they'd be pretty pleased with the form they've shown, I think, and gives them some hope going towards the end of the season. That's a beautiful pass inside forward 50 by Gibson again. Stafford, casual as you like, swings around on the left and slams it through from about 40 out, hooking around the corner. He's amazing, an amazing kick, and that left foot or right foot, that time on the left, just swung it round and was never in doubt from the moment it hit the boot.
So 4 goals to Daniel Stafford. He's really getting into some rhythm now. So the big fella from Central Australia, 4 goals to Stafford, 3 to Eddie Betts and 5 to Benjamin Gibson is a pretty good return for the Palmerston Magpies today. That score now, Palmerston 15-10, 100 to the Tiwi Bombers 4-7-31. And Stu, I've got to give a shout out to my mate Willie Rioli, who texted me at 3/4 time watching the live stream from Perth. It's great to hopefully see Willie back in action for the West Coast Eagles this year, and great to have him tuning in to the live AFL NT's live stream.
Yep, goes all around the country, as we know, and it's great that we have the opportunity to bring football to the whole of Australia all year round. And there's a shot on goal as Tiwi go forward. It was Paulinus tipping Woody, but he's hooked it too far and through for a behind. So
he's kicked 2 today, and he's looked dangerous. He's got a pretty strong build on him, so a few blokes have come off second best in the contest against him today.
Yep, so Brody McMahon receives this one from Wharf at half back, and he's got a couple of players close to the grandstand flank, but again in the end a contested mark by Cross. He chips inboard to Sutton. Sutton plays on with the hand pass, and it was McMahon following up, who kicks long down the grandstand wing, but a good contested mark taken by Hooker. He looks to switch the play into the middle of the ground to Robinson in the centre square. Hand passes over the top, but gives the opportunity for Tipperui to run onto it. He couldn't take it, and Robinson eventually tidied up and kicks wide to the advantage of Thompson. The ball bounces into his hands. He chips the ball down here looking for Cunningham. Cunningham got a hand to it, but couldn't control it, and in the end he's grabbed the leg of Ryan Wharf, and Wharf will take the free kick. He chips wide again, and that's Flanagan out there. He chips it in to Stephen Lampton. Lampton's got some space, so trots off and has a bounce. Kicks inboard. That's a bit of a wobbler, but Stafford's on the end of it, good enough to take it with his hands outstretched. And again, not much pressure from the Tiwi defence as that ball came inside forward 50 for Palmerston. And Stafford will go back and kick from about 40 metres.
Well, he's capable of getting this distance. He's a beautiful kick. So, and if he kicks it, it'll be his 5th goal for the day.
So he's just chipped at it really, and in fact didn't make the distance in the end because of that. And marks taken in defence, and Hooker again chips straight up the centre of the ground to Munkara, who marks, plays on straight away, and his kick has found Tipperui, who hand passes it back to Munkara. He goes up the middle of the ground, but there's plenty of Palmerston players there as the ball's punched away. Froggy Davey comes across, controls the ball in the end, and hand passes to Groves, who kicks up to Sutton through the hands now here to Hampton Timms. He kicks long to the goal square, and a great kick. That's covered about 55 metres, I reckon. And
Stafford just stood there and waited for it to land on his chest. It was a beautiful kick.
Yep, just a couple of steps backwards, in fact, in the end. And yeah, he's marked it right at the top of the goal square. So I'm sure he'll get his 5th goal.
I'm not saying anything.
And no problem whatsoever. And he's probably snuck up on us a bit with 5 goals, but 1 in every quarter, and then now 2 in this quarter. So a pretty good return in the end for Daniel Stafford.
Yep, and the umpire waves the 2 flags there to indicate a goal. We'll just watch this on the replay, that beautiful kick that comes in there from Clifford Hampton Timms, who's actually a cousin of the Jeffreys, Stu. He's Russell Jeffrey and the likes nephew, so got some good footy cousins, Joel, Letitia.
Yeah.
So playing some good footy for Palmerston, though. That score now, the Magpies 16-10, 106, leading the Tiwi Bombers 4-8-32.
Yeah, and Tiwi just the one goal since quarter time, Liz, which has been really disappointing. They were right in the contest.
Yeah,
in the
such a good
quarter.
first quarter.
Yeah, just really dropped off. But Palmerston have been pretty good, and they'll have confidence going into the rest of the season. We're round 10 now, which is over halfway through the season. So
yeah, that's right. We've got 2 more rounds after this weekend before Christmas, as we see. Oh, almost a mark there, taken by Columbus. So, yeah, just after this weekend's finished, 2 more rounds before we head into the Christmas break, and everyone has a few weeks off, Stu.
yeah, and everyone looks forward to that. And then the season ramps up again for the last only 5 rounds after 5 or 6 rounds after Christmas, I think. So it'll be pretty intense.
Yeah, they often say that it's sort of the 2 halves of our competition, with the serious stuff happening after Christmas. But there's been some great footy so far this season, and you know, Wanderers are probably the talking point this weekend. I think they've won 6 in a row, Stu. So Aaron Motlop doing a great job there, building on what his cousin Shannon did last year.
Yeah, the competition is interesting, as Betts is on the end of this one again. Hooks around with the left foot. Oh, cutting across there. In defence for Tiwi was Braden Rioli, got caught high and the free kick was paid, but they've taken advantage and run the ball down the grandstand side, looking to switch inboard now. That wasn't the best option, and was chopped off pretty easily by Callum Groves, who hasn't had a bad game in defence for
Braden Rioli's going to try and intercept the next one. He's down again.
Hit the ground again.
The younger brother of Daniel that plays for Richmond.
So Guthrie gets that ball forward. Waylon Davey on the end of this. Hooks around the corner towards goal again. It's a good finish by the young fella, and said it before, he's got some tricks, and he ducked one way, back round the other, and knows where the goals are.
Sure is. I'm laughing. I'm watching his mum Lauren, who's standing down there right behind the Palmerston goals, cheering her son on. Great work there by Waylon Davey, his second goal for the day. We'll just watch that again. Braden Rioli hit the deck there on the replay, but Eric Guthrie again, been really important for Palmerston today, getting that kick in, and Way just stayed, kept his feet, twists and turns, and throws it on the right for a really good finish. Great work there by young Waylon. The score now, Palmerston Magpies 17-10, 112, leading the Tiwi Bombers 4-9-33.
So from the restart, it's Tiwi looking to clear. Munkara just taps it out to the advantage of Cantilla. He was infringed. Play on's the call as Cantilla takes the advantage, kicks straight down the middle of the ground. But again, it's Flanagan in defence, who's mopped up plenty of times today, and he gets it to Cross, who chips it down the wing. Ugle inboard here to Meadows. Meadows looking for Stafford on the lead, and a beautiful pass once again. And Cruz just not much he could do about that as Stafford got out in front on the lead, and the pass was perfect as it hit him on the chest coming out and marked.
Yeah, Flanagan's been good today, who's started that in defence, doing his job as a defender does. Nothing flashy, but mopped up the ball plenty of times and giving his team an opportunity to score another goal.
And it's Stafford who, in fact, does score another goal. You see that powerful kick once again, and he's kicked that pretty easily from just inside the 50-metre line, and it's turning into Daniel Stafford's quarter. He's kicked 3 in this final quarter already out of the 4 that Palmerston have kicked, and yeah, they're really putting the metal to the floor now and really increasing that gap.
Yeah, when he's on, Stafford. You can't stop him. And the score now, Palmerston Magpies 18-10, 118, leading the Tiwi Bombers 4-9-33. We've got another game after this here at TIO Stadium. Sorry, we don't have one here. We've got one at Gardens Oval, which is Waratah and Southern Districts, and one under lights at Nightcliff, which is Nightcliff and Wander as well. St Mary's will be the team that play back here tomorrow on a home game against the Darwin Buffalo, Stu.
That's right, and Tiwi going forward, and the mark's taken here by Valerian Munkanome, and he'll go back and have a shot for goal. Yeah, they're In fact, there is a game after this, but it's a Women's Premier League game between Pint and Palmerston, I think. And in the end, the hand pass is going to cross to Dion Munkara, who finishes for a long overdue goal for Tiwi, only their second since quarter time, as we were saying before. And Dion's one that we were calling for to get into the game a bit more, and he probably has in this last quarter. But yeah, too little too late, obviously, with the margin the way it stands at the moment.
Yeah, good goal there by Dion. We know people who have watched the NTFL for a long time and know what Dion can do. He's probably his most explosive along the wing, loves kicking a goal, really big personality. So he's really important to the team because he puts a smile on everyone's face. And a good finish there for the Tiwi Bombers. 5th goal today. The score now, Tiwi Bombers 5-9-39, trailing Palmerston Magpies 18-10, 118 at the 12-minute mark of the final quarter.
So Kim Cantilla with another clearance, gets it out there to Robinson this time. He kicks wide, but too wide, and the ball bounces just inside the boundary line, and players can't keep it in, and another boundary throw in.
Jonty Patrick on the bench there. Player for young player, talented player for Palmerston Magpies, who's injured at the moment, and good to see that he's out there helping still, doing the running.
That's right. So his dad obviously heavily involved in the club as well. So
and mum.
Yep.
She's a ripper, Sarah. She works at Intersport at Palmerston, so go and see her for a discount. The Tyrrell brothers will be wrapped with me, the owners. As we see Dean Rioli on the bench for the Tiwi Bombers, on the phone there to the coach, and of course Dean, a former AFL player for Essendon and the president this year of the Tiwi Bombers.
Munkara, another opportunity, but just too low and comes off the hands and through for a behind. Yeah, Dean, the president this year, and doing some good things off field. I think they just need to get the on field ticking over again, as and bring the crowds back in that always used to follow them here at TIO Stadium. He's
a lovely fella and very passionate about his Tiwi people, so it's great to have people the calibre of Dean involved at the football club to try and get some good outcomes for them, as we see Gibbison with the ball in the back line.
Short to cross. In fact, it was too short. It bounced in front of him, but he got tackled high in the end, and Gibbison takes the advantage, gets it down looking for Stafford. It fell short of him, and Tipper Matamiri tidies up for Tiwi, gets it off across to Cantilla, who hand passes looking to get it back to Tipper Matamiri. The ball was punched over the line defensively by Stephen Lampton. Tipper Matamiri thought that might have been a free kick for him, but umpires saw it differently, and it'll be a boundary throw in.
Yeah, so we're just coming up to the 14-minute mark of the final quarter, and I'm looking forward to Eddie Betts trying to leave the ground today, Stu. I reckon he's going to get mobbed for a few selfies.
So Robinson wins that stoppage, gets it forward for Tiwi. Flanagan again back there through the hands to Wharf, and Wharf chips it high out of defence. Looking down there for McMahon, who takes possession, runs away with bounce, and now kicks long inside forward 50. Working back for Tiwi was Cruz, and read that well, took the good intercept mark, and now has a look across ground and goes further afield, and Tipper Matamiri on the end of this again. Goes straight up the middle of the ground, and the mark's taken here by Cunningham in the centre of the ground. He goes wide, and now Tiwi the opportunity again. Chip comes in looking there for Thompson, but just fell short of him. He manages to get it across to Cunningham, but good defensive work again by Cross, and Hampton Timms thumps the ball out of defence. Oh, good work there by Tipper Matamiri. Trapped the ball as he fell to the ground, and managed to get it free, and a free kick's been paid, and it's going Tiwi's way, and it's Tipperui who finds Robinson. Robinson inside forward 50, and good mark in the outstretched hands taken by Chris Colombo for Tiwi inside forward 50. He's looking to play on now, and does with the hand pass over the top, but they're in a bit of trouble, but that's a beautiful pass inside.
Neon Dion again, here he is.
Hook around the corner, kick looks good, it is good, and through for a second goal in the quarter to Tiwi, and
both of them to Dion Munkara.
Yep, another good finish as he makes his way to the goal square now he's been used all over the ground really in attempts to get Tiwi firing, and maybe.
I like him closer to goals. He's got that X factor. He can beat his opponent. He's so beautiful skills and his speed. So if it was me, I'd have him, in the forward line all game. So the score now: Palmerston Magpies 18-10, 118, leading the Tiwi Bombers 6-10, 46, and we're at the 16.5 minute mark of the final quarter.
So Betts has been injected into the middle of the field, but it's Colombo who wins the clearance, bursting out of the centre. Chips forward, looking for Munkara again. This time it's punched away from him, but Munkara recovers well, got the hand pass up. Just went behind Colombo a bit there, who got collected late, and he's still on the ground. I think he's got a free kick here, and it's a bit of a late charge by Tiwi. They've kicked the last 2 goals, and now an opportunity again, and I think Dion's telling Colombo not to worry about taking the kick. He'll take it, but eventually has to hand it back.
He's such a funny guy, Dion Munkara. They were at NT Thunder in the final years of the club, and massive personality, just made everyone smile with his enthusiasm, as we see Colombo have a shot on goal. He's had a few today and hasn't managed to get one through for 6 points, and neither will that one, but he's had a fantastic game and he's really tried his guts out for the Tiwi Bombers today.
Yeah, he's been an important player, and hopefully he can play out the rest of the season and help him build something at the club. As the kick comes in, Mark's taken out there by Luke Meadows, who was on fire in the first half, probably dropped off a little bit in the second half, but has still had an impressive game, and he chips it to Betts. Just defensively of centre. He chips the ball in here, looking for Shadforth, who takes a good mark, stretching low. And now he's got a runner out wide, and that's McMaster's out on the outer wing. He's called to play on now. Goes by hand over the top, and now it's Meadows again, who chips the ball inside. The ball's marked spilt down there, unfortunately, for Tiwi, and Palmerston an opportunity again. Ryan Wharf coming in, but Robinson was strong in the contest. Shadforth picks up, hand passes backwards, looking for Meadows, but in the end they couldn't keep the ball inside the boundary, and it'll be a boundary throw in again on the outer side of the ground.
Yeah, Meadows was superb in that second quarter, where Palmerston really set up the win, Stu, and they took that 47-point lead into half-time. I'm sure his stats will be high when they're released in the NT News next week.
Yep. Puruntatameri Dunn in there, gets the ball forward, but Alan Davey chops it off, kicks the ball inside 50, looking for Stafford, picks it up on the half volley nicely, swings around with the hand pass forward, and
Eddie Betts just stood there and waited for it.
Cuts through like a knife through butter and gets the hand pass across, but Ugel's kick forward at goal missed to the left-hand side.
They're all having a bit of a laugh about that. Good to see. Another good game played in good spirits out here on TIO Stadium today. So the score now, Palmerston Magpies 18-11, 119, leading the Tiwi Bombers 6-11, 47.
Nick Hooker brings it in straight up the ground to Michael Dunn, and Dunn takes the mark and just slows things down as he's looking for an option to go forward. In fact, in the end, he goes back to Hooker, who's got a little bit of space backward of centre, and now he kicks long down towards half forward, and Colombo runs onto this, gets the hand pass forward, but only as far there as Lambton. But getting himself involved was Tip and Woody, but they turn it over again, and out of defence, McMahon through the hands, and then eventually kicking wide, and it's Meadows again on the outer side of the ground in some space, chips into McMasters, and McMasters now running inboard is looking for a long option inside forward 50. Ugle comes across, Stafford's in there as well, off the hands. It's Waylon Davey, hooks around the corner once again.
Another one. It was just like the other one.
It was exactly the same as the one before. He's just an opportunist goal in front of the pack, and yeah, he's been an important inclusion for Palmerston over the last couple of weeks. Only a young fella, of course, Liz, and good to see him competing well at this level and making an impact.
He's just offering his opponent a water too. Isn't that nice from young Weiwei? So how's his goal sense though?
Yeah, that's right. It's just
uncanny.
Something that comes naturally
Oh,
to players.
yes.
And, yeah.
You can't breed that. He would have had a football in his hand from the moment he came out, that kid. So the Motlop side of the family on his mum's side and the Davies on the other side are, as we said, pretty impressive bloodlines. As we see a free kick get paid in the centre, it's Gibbison who's kicked that out to Guthrie out here on the wing, and pretty easy. Oh, he's somehow
hurt himself, I think, but
yeah, got that kick to McMaster's.
McMaster's off the outside of the foot going forward, but Tiwi tidy up this time, and it's Tipperman Mary got it to Cantilla, and Cantilla runs wide again and finds Thompson. Thompson calling to be shepherded, but that's some pretty good defensive work by Hampton Timms, but he's given away the free kick for a high tackle. Thompson hand passes over the top. Braden Rioli on the left kicks the ball inside forward 50, but Flanagan again reliable in defence, just read it and chopped it off, and he's had a good game, but he's had a good season as well, I think, and he's been an important player in defence for Palmerston all year as Lambton goes wide, and Palmerston working the ball round the outer side of the ground now, and that kick's smothered, but play on's the call and opportunity again for Shadforth going forward. Waylon Davey there involved, and Betts runs onto it now under pressure from Hooker. And,
just out.
Almost got past, and no, he's caught holding the ball. In fact,
imagine saying you got Eddie Betts held ball.
I know, that's a 50-metre penalty for Eddie moving on the mark, and I think he acknowledged that one.
Yeah, and he's going to go and give Waylon a high five. Imagine being Waylon Davey at 15, saying you kicked 5 goals in your first 2 games, and you played with Eddie Betts and your Uncle Frog, and
fantastic stuff. So
fantastic.
Tiwi going forward now through Robinson to the outer side of the ground, and it's Colombo who takes a mark, plays on, kicks long to the top of the square. A big leap from Cantilla.
What a mark.
A fantastic mark, and that's what we've been looking for. Cantilla's been thrown into the middle of the ground in this last quarter and has had quite a few touches, but going forward that time took a huge mark over the pack, and surely he'll finish with a goal here from the top of the goal square.
He's been such a good get. He crossed from Waratah this season. He's acting captain today, and he's a massive addition to the Tiwi Bombers side as we see him put that one through for a goal. Well done, Kim Cantilla, and what a great mark.
Yep, all clear's given, and it was a terrific mark. So still got some energy late in the game, and got up high there. Took the mark on his chest in the end, and the replay here as the ball comes in. Colombo again has been busy all day, and just kept working there. Got the ball in long, had a couple of options. Munkara was down there as well, but Cantilla from the side, in fact, rode on the back of Dion Munkara.
Dion looking for the ball to come down, but Cantilla had it wrapped up. Thank you very much for the step ladder, Dion. So the score now, Palmerston Magpies 19-11, 125, leading the Tiwi Bombers 7-11-53. So, after not scoring a goal for the last 2 quarters, the Bombers have been able to chuck a couple more on the board late in the game, but it's Ugle there who's taken a mark for the Magpies.
Yeah, and that was from a free kick in the centre square too. We're just not organised in their 6-6-6 setup, and just unfortunate. Meadows got the kick in again, and Ugle, who missed with his last shot at goal, this time a set shot, and taking plenty of time over it, but he'd be hoping for a better outcome as his kick's on the way. I think he's missed to the other side this time. He's just pushed that right, and so just can't get it on the board himself. But a strong win for Palmerston Magpies here, but been encouraging to see a couple of magic moments from Tiwi late in the game through Munkara and Cantilla, and a couple of others around the ground have kept trying as well. And here's one of them, Locke, but he spills the mark this time. Wharf has racked up the possessions a bit as well as the game's progressed, and that man Meadows, who's probably close to best on the ground, Liz, has taken another mark here. Plays on now, kicks long, high to the goal square. Betts down there. Michael Dunn reaches over the top, gets the fist to the ball, and Tiwi looking to work it out. There's danger lurking though, and Fetcher's in there, tries to keep it in play.
He's saying it's still in.
Eventually it's tapped over the boundary line, and
he kicked a miraculous goal there earlier in the game from that exact spot. So he was trying for take 2, I think.
So the boundary throw-in as the clock ticks over 26 minutes in this final quarter, and the tap comes out where Sutton's involved, but Michael Dunn picks up. He's tackled, the ball spills free. Puruntatameri Dunn gets the clearing kick, but goes too far for his teammate, and it's chopped off by Gibbison, who thumps it back in. Stafford uses his body, gets his opponent out of the way, and Kieran DeSantis gets a clearing kick out to Cruz. Cruz runs off now, has a bounce. Kicks back inboard, and that's a nice kick to Douglas Cunningham. Cunningham looking for Cruz, who's run on. Kick's just fallen short, but he's got a bit of space and ducks around his opponent. Now chips the ball around the outer side of the ground, and Tiwi going forward again. Cantilla's drifted forward again and gets on the end of this and takes a nice mark, and he's going to go back and take his time and have a set shot from about 35 metres out. Yeah,
well done there to David Cruz, who took the game on from the back line and really got that ball into the Tiwi Bombers forward line for Kim Cantilla to take a shot on a goal.
So Cantilla's kick is going across the face, I think, and just punched through defensively for a behind.
So I'm just looking at my score sheet. The Tiwi Bombers have had 5 goal kickers today, and Palmerston have only had 6 goal kickers, but it's a 12 goal margin. Some big bags in there today. Daniel Stafford with 6, Benjamin Gibbison with 5, Waylon Davey and Eddie Betts with 3.
Brody McMahon on the outer side kicks around, but as the siren goes to end the game, and so a bit of encouragement for Tiwi. They managed to kick 3 of the last 4 goals of the game, but again, Palmerston won the quarter, and they won every quarter and just stretched that lead out to 12 goals in the end. So, you know, we say that it's only their 3rd win for the season, but a final 5 in an 8-team competition means they're well and truly still alive as they try to make some ground on those top sides going towards the end of the season, Liz.
Yeah, absolutely, and there's a real buzz around the Palmerston Footy Club with the likes of Eddie Betts. You know, he just brings so much on and off field to the club, and then if you throw in Benjamin Gibbison, if they can hang on to him for the rest of the season, and Daniel Stafford, you know, finishing with 6 goals today, such a big unit. He's so hard to man up that if they can, you know, keep that group together, and you know, Waylon Davey coming in as a 15-year-old and kicking 5 goals in his first 2 games, you know, fantastic effort. So, you know, the final score there, Palmerston Magpies 19-12, 126, who have defeated the Tiwi Bombers 7-12-54. They'd be pretty happy with that, Stu.
Yeah, certainly would, and gives them something to build on for the rest of the season. And yeah, I wouldn't put a line through Palmerston yet. They've got enough talent there to challenge as we go forward into Christmas and beyond.
Absolutely. So well done to the Palmerston Magpies, and some encouraging signs and definitely some highlights there for the Tiwi Bombers, who are working really hard on and off the field as well. We'll thank you very much for joining us today on the AFL NTV coverage of the 2021-22 TIO NTFL season from TIO Stadium in Darwin.